Hi, you guys. This week we're going to start a new study about habitats, ecosystems, and biomes. That's all the different types of words that describe places that animals live. So we're going to start by reading this book called Tall, Tall Tree about a special kind of tree. It's called a redwood tree. And this book is by Anthony D. Fredricks, illustrated by Chad Wallace. And there's your title page. In this book, before the book starts, or before the story starts, it has a special letter to us from this owl. So we're going to read that first. Dear humans, I live at the top of a tree, a tall, tall tree. My tree is a redwood, one of the tallest trees in the world. Redwoods are higher than many buildings. That's really tall. This tree is where I find food. It's also where I sleep and raise my family. And it's where I hide from animals who want to catch me. There are lots of other animals who live up here too. Some live here their entire lives. Some just visit for a little while, and some come and go throughout the year. Yet for a long time, scientists didn't know where we lived. They didn't think we could live up so high. This was our hidden world. Finally, people learned how to climb these tall trees. When they did, they discovered us. Imagine their surprise. They also learned something new. Because we live so high, sometimes our weather up here is different than your weather down there. Isn't that amazing? So, welcome to our special place, our redwood tree. There are a lot of amazing things to discover here, a lot to learn. By learning more, you can help save and protect our fragile ecosystem. And we could sure use your help. In fact, we're counting on it. Yours truly, the northern spotted owl. Creeping, hopping, zipping throughout the redwoods green are many different creatures who are very seldom seen. They live among the branches, high in the tall, tall tree. Insects, birds, and mammals. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. 1. A single soaring eagle against the sky of blue searches for his dinner, and now comes number 2. 2 brown spotted owls nest in the canopy, carrying food to babies, and now comes number 3. 3 climbing salamanders above the forest floor hunt for tiny insects. Now comes number 4. 4 busy woodpeckers, in order to survive, are storing all their acorns. And now comes number 5. 5 furry wood rats, darting in the sticks, dining on some juicy plants. And now comes number 6. 6 chattering chipmunks in this treetop heaven dash, dart, and scamper. And now comes number 7. 7 busy bumblebees zig and zag and wait. They flash in black and yellow. And now comes number 8. 8 sleeping bats roosting in a line, waiting for the moon to rise. And now comes number 9. 9 banana slugs, yellow, slimy. Then they slide around the tree. And now comes number 10. 10 spotted ladybugs on teeny tiny feet crawl along the needles. But our story's not complete. Can you see those little ladybugs? Whoa! That's such a tall tree. Many other animals sleep and eat and roam Up in this tall, tall tree, their elevated home. The tree lives in a forest close to the foggy shore. Its wild and magic world. Come discover and explore. Look at those people. Look how tiny they look compared to this tree. I've never seen a tree so tall. It's got some more cool pages at the end of the story. It says, meet the world's tallest tree, the coast redwood. Tall. Many redwood trees are over 360 feet tall. That's taller than a 30-story skyscraper. Wide. That's how big they are this way, from this side to this side. They're nearly 30 feet wide. That's as wide as a whole volleyball court. Only here. These trees only grow in one place in the world, near the coast of Northern California and Southern Oregon. Ancient. They can be more than 2,000 years old. Thirsty. Each day, a redwood tree moves hundreds of gallons of water from its roots under the ground all the way up to its crown. Needles. The flat needles of a redwood are its leaves. Bark. The bark protects the tree from fire and insects. In some spots, the bark may be up to 1 foot thick. Roots. The roots spread out more than 50 feet from the trunk. Redwood trees living in a grove intertwine their roots. This helps them stand strong against powerful winds. High home. Needles, bark, and leaves from other trees collect on redwood tree branches. After time, they become mats of spongy humus. These mats are like gardens in the sky. They allow many plants and animals that live on the ground to also live high up in the treetops. Could you imagine? More plants can grow on the branches of these trees, and some animals are born and spend their whole lives in the branches of the redwood trees. This book has a special part where you can find some hidden animals that live in the trees. It says there's paper wasps. It says these wasps make hanging nests created with paper-thin sheets. To make these sheets, wasps mix up plant material with their spit or saliva. Also, some yellow-spotted millipedes live there. This critter has 62 legs. Wow, that's a lot of legs. Millipedes like to eat fallen leaves, which they convert into rich soil. The topsoil is necessary for the other forest plants to grow. There's also in this book somewhere a California sister butterfly. You might see this butterfly fluttering throughout the forest. Like all butterflies, they don't bite or chew their food because they don't have mouths. They just suck it up. Then there's a northern flying squirrel. This type of squirrel doesn't really fly. It glides from tree to tree, going as far as 50 yards. That's half of a football field. But on the ground, they're actually really clumsy walkers. The wandering salamander. Scientists thought that these 5-inch long critters only lived on the ground. Imagine their surprise when they discovered that these animals actually also live in the humus mats of the redwood trees. There's a little salamander picture. Skunks. Ew! Skunks can shoot out their stinky spray as far as 10 feet. That keeps away a lot of predators. They are mostly active at night when they search for food. Red tree vole. Related to rats, these voles live only in Northern California and Oregon, and they like to eat conifer needles. Those are the needles that grow on these type of trees. Marbled murrelet. Even though it's a seabird, the murrelet nests high in redwood trees. Murrelets spend most of their time at the ocean, where they dive underwater to catch fish. Allen's hummingbird. About 3 inches long, this tiny bird mostly lives along the California coast. Like all hummingbirds, it can fly backwards, upside down, and even hover in mid-air. And then the Stellar's Jay. This bold bird isn't afraid of people. It will swoop down from the trees to steal food right from your picnic table. Look for its blue feathers and listen for its loud call. Tiny to gigantic. A tall, tall tree grows from one tiny, tiny seed. A redwood seed is about the same size as a tomato seed. Over its lifetime, a redwood tree may make 1 billion seeds, sometimes even more. Seeds develop inside a small cone. Redwood trees also sprout from stumps, tree roots, and burls. The tallest coast redwood tree is about 380 feet. There is the teeny tiny little actual size of a redwood tree seed. So it goes from this to a 380-foot tall tree. That's pretty amazing. There's even more information in this book, but I think we've read a lot for now, so we might talk about some of this later in our lessons. I hope you guys liked this book. I sure did.